In the world of cryptocurrency, fortunes are made and lost in the blink of an eye. But behind every rise and fall lies a story, one of ambition, innovation, and the relentless pursuit of power. This is the story of Alex Mashinsky and Daniel Leon, the masterminds behind Celsius, once hailed as the future of finance. From their meteoric rise as the champions of decentralized finance to their stunning downfall amidst accusations of fraud, this is the tale that shook the crypto world to its core. How did it all begin? And where did it all go so wrong? Let's dive into the story that left an entire industry stunned. Founded in 2017 by Alex Mashinsky and Daniel Leon, Celsius Network quickly became one of the most talked about companies in the crypto space. Mashinsky, a serial entrepreneur, was best known for his role in creating voice over internet protocol, which revolutionized global communication. He had a track record of disrupting industries, from Arpanet, the first telecom marketplace exchange, to building the wireless network in New York City's subway system. Before Celsius, Daniel Leon co-founded Atlas Labs, a social discovery platform, and held executive roles at several startups. Together, Mashinsky and Leon set out to disrupt yet another industry, traditional banking. At its core, Celsius was designed to challenge the banking system by offering a blockchain-based platform for lending and borrowing cryptocurrencies. But what really grabbed attention? The promise of up to 18% annual returns on crypto deposits, a figure that attracted droves of investors. Celsius wasn't just a lending platform, it was a one-stop shop for buying, swapping, and earning yield on crypto. By 2020, it had surpassed $10 billion in customer assets. The company claimed to have 1.7 million users by May 2022 and $11.7 billion in assets under management. Celsius also introduced its own native CEL token, an internal reward system that allowed users to stake tokens and earn even higher returns. But was it too good to be true? Much of Celsius's branding was built on a distrust of traditional banks. Mashinsky was famous for his slogan, "Banks are not your friends," and the Celsius tagline became "Unbank yourself." The message was clear. Celsius was offering financial freedom outside of the banking system. For a while, the vision worked. Celsius was seen as a beacon of hope for crypto enthusiasts who believed in a decentralized future. But as the company grew, so did the cracks beneath the surface. In the world of crypto, Celsius Network shot to the top like a rocket, offering sky-high interest rates that no one could resist. But beneath the surface, cracks began to form, leading to one of the biggest collapses in crypto history. How did Celsius become so popular? At its peak, Celsius was the place to store your crypto. The key to its explosive growth was unbelievable double-digit yields. Users were promised up to 18% APY on their crypto deposits, particularly when users were earning rewards in Celsius's own token annual percentage yield, or APY. Means that for every dollar you deposited in Celsius, you could earn 18 cents in interest over the course of a year. And all of this without the perceived risk of investing in a security. With these kinds of returns, it's no wonder more than $10 billion flooded into Celsius accounts. Celsius capitalized on the crypto boom of 2020 and 2021, growing its assets under management to over $20 billion and attracting more than 1 million users. The company also raised capital through equity funding rounds and token sales, offering extra benefits through its CEL token. Mashinsky was a master marketer. He sold Celsius as a safe haven from what he called evil banks and played on people's greed. To build trust, he hosted weekly live streams, bashing traditional financial institutions and presenting Celsius as the solution. But how did Celsius pay these yields? But here's where things got complicated. To offer such high interest rates, Celsius had to put users' funds into increasingly risky investments, specifically in decentralized finance. In the beginning, they lent out customer assets to earn interest, requiring huge collateral for these loans. But soon, they began diving into riskier and more complex DeFi protocols. Let's take a look at some of the protocols they invested in. Celsius had exposure to platforms like Terra, Lido, Badger DAO, and Stakehound, each of which eventually suffered massive collapses or hacks. In June 2021, Celsius lost more than 35,000 ETH after the Ethereum staking service. Stakehound lost its private keys. In December of the same year, Badger DAO was hacked for $120 million, and Celsius took a $22 million hit as a result. By June 2022, Lido's staked Ether product lost its peg, and Celsius, with liabilities exceeding 1 million ETH, found itself at serious risk of insolvency. And finally, when Terra's stablecoin UST collapsed in May 2022, Celsius withdrew over $500 million from the Terra ecosystem, leaving many to suspect deeper damage than CEO Mashinsky publicly admitted. Despite these losses, Mashinsky tried to reassure users. He claimed minimal exposure to Terra and downplayed the risks, but the cracks were becoming too large to ignore. Behind the scenes, Celsius was bleeding money from one bad investment after another. As Celsius grew, so did its problems. The company had liabilities far exceeding its reserves, meaning if customers suddenly wanted their money back, Celsius would have no way to pay them. And with the collapse of multiple DeFi protocols, Celsius was crumbling under the pressure. Then there's the CEL token itself. Between 2020 and 2021, the price of CEL exploded from 5 cents to $7.50, thanks to manipulation by Mashinsky, who was secretly selling off his holdings to profit from the artificially inflated value. As Celsius tried to keep up its promises, cracks widened. The business model was built on shaky ground, risky investments, over-leveraged positions, and a CEL token manipulated by Mashinsky, the man himself. In June 2022, Celsius froze all withdrawals, leaving users with nothing but questions and losses. The fall, as Celsius entered bankruptcy proceedings, it became clear that both the US legal system and creditors were unprepared for the unique challenges of dealing with a collapsed crypto platform like Celsius. One major hurdle: the valuation of digital assets like Bitcoin crashed. By law, creditors would receive compensation based on the value of their assets as of July 13th, 2022, when Bitcoin had crashed to around $20,000. For many creditors, this meant massive losses. While Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies surged in value afterwards, Celsius users were stuck with the much lower valuation from the bankruptcy filing date. Despite Celsius distributing an initial 57.9% of the claim values, in reality, users have only recouped around 15 to 20% of their original asset value. One of Celsius's attempts at salvaging its business was through its mining farm, funded with $225 million of users' funds. Though the company planned to create a new entity offering shares to creditors, this venture was poorly managed and heavily criticised. Adding to the chaos, the appointed distribution agent, Coinbase, has faced widespread criticism. Thousands of Celsius users were trapped in an endless cycle of glitches, KYC verification failures, and frozen accounts. Many were unable to even access their partial refunds. Meanwhile, as Celsius founder Alex Mashinsky faces ongoing legal battles, his co-founders, Daniel Leon and Newt Goldstein, have already started new ventures in Israel. It's unclear if they'll face any real accountability for their roles in the Celsius scandal, leaving many to wonder if justice will be served. The collapse of Celsius reinforces a crucial lesson in the crypto world. Not your keys, not your funds. Thousands of users learned the hard way about the risks of trusting their assets to third-party platforms. The restructuring efforts and asset sales of Celsius may have given some users a fraction of their funds back, but the scars of this collapse run deep. As the saga drags on, creditors are left waiting, hoping for more clarity and maybe, just maybe, justice. So what was the timeline for all of this? April 12th, 2022. This is where things first start to go wrong. Celsius announced that US non-accredited investors could no longer add assets or earn rewards. This move was supposedly due to working closely with regulators, but it raised red flags. Were they really getting ahead of legal issues, or was this the first sign of deeper problems? Turns out it was the latter. But things were just getting started. In May, the crypto market was rocked by the catastrophic collapse of Terra's stablecoin UST and its sister coin, Luna, losing $40 billion in value. This wasn't just bad news for Terra, it sent shockwaves throughout the crypto space. It triggered panic and a massive sell-off and a crypto winter. Celsius users, they panicked, rushing to withdraw their funds. This domino effect would later be blamed by Celsius for their liquidity issues. By June, things had gone from bad to worse. On June 12th, Celsius did the unthinkable. They froze all user withdrawals, swaps, and transfers, citing extreme market conditions. For 1.7 million users, their assets were now frozen indefinitely. Can you imagine the panic that must have spread through the community at that point? No answers, no timeline, just a whole lot of fear. By June 30th, Celsius had hired restructuring experts, signaling just how deep their problems ran. A few days later, they laid off 23% of their staff. And it wasn't long before the lawsuits started rolling in. On July 7th, a DeFi aggregator, KeyFi, filed a lawsuit accusing Celsius of market manipulation and mismanaging user deposits. KeyFi's CEO even took to Twitter calling Celsius a Ponzi scheme, exposing serious flaws in their strategy, or should I say, lack of strategy. On July 12th, Celsius tried to close its loans and free up collateral, but it was too little, too late. The very next day, July 13th, they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the US court. Now, their official statement claimed that pausing withdrawals was necessary to stabilize the business and protect customers. But by this point, no one was buying it. One day after their bankruptcy filing, it was revealed that Celsius had a $1.3 billion hole in its balance sheet. That's right, $1.3 billion. This was the first time the company publicly admitted just how deep in the red they really were. In one of the most shocking fraud cases in crypto history, Celsius Network, once hailed as a pioneer of decentralized finance, was exposed for its deceit. Former CEO Alex Mashinsky now faces multiple criminal charges. Against him, firstly, misrepresentation of risk. Celsius marketed itself as a low-risk platform, but behind the scenes, it invested in highly speculative, risky ventures. Uncollateralized loans and highly leveraged investments put customer funds in jeopardy, all while the company falsely claimed stability. Then, CEL token was manipulated by Mashinsky and other executives and accused of inflating the value of Celsius's native token. While publicly promoting its strength, Mashinsky secretly sold off $42 million of his own holdings, manipulating prices to his benefit and misleading customers. Undisclosed financial trouble. Even as Celsius faced severe financial strain, it continued to promise high returns and advertise security, deceiving customers into investing more, unaware their money was being used to cover growing liabilities. Celsius's business model resembled a Ponzi scheme, using new customer deposits to pay off older ones. By July 2022, with billions owed and mounting losses, Celsius was no longer able to meet customer withdrawal requests. Legal action and bankruptcy. When Celsius filed for bankruptcy, $4.7 billion in customer assets were trapped. US authorities charged Mashinsky with securities fraud, wire fraud, and market manipulation. The collapse sparked a wave of lawsuits and regulatory scrutiny. Mashinsky's arrest. In July 2023, Alex Mashinsky was arrested for orchestrating a years-long fraud scheme. Authorities charged him with securities and wire fraud, among others. The Federal Trade Commission, FTC, banned Celsius from handling customer assets. Thousands of customers lost access to their life savings, and Mashinsky now faces justice. The fall of Celsius is a stark reminder that in crypto, transparency and regulation are crucial. While Celsius Network's collapse left thousands of customers devastated, its co-founders are far from struggling. Let's take a look at where they are now, starting with Daniel Leon, who's literally laughing all the way to the bank. Daniel Leon, co-founder and former COO of Celsius, returned to Israel after 20 years in New York. While Celsius was teetering on the edge of collapse, Leon was buying a luxury apartment in Tel Aviv. When his local bank questioned his wealth, Leon casually mentioned his connection to the crypto world. The response? He was kicked out, but he didn't care. By then, Leon had already secured the apartment and was still sitting on millions from Celsius. Leon wasn't just a bystander in Celsius' rise and fall. He played a key role as the company grew to manage over $26 billion in customer assets. But behind the scenes, Leon and his co-founders were making risky bets with customer funds and securing their personal wealth. Ronnie Cohen-Pavon was Celsius's chief revenue officer and was another key player in the scheme. Ronnie, a former blockchain lawyer, shifted to Celsius, defending the company's controversial practices, even as it spiraled towards bankruptcy. While Alex Mashinsky faces multiple criminal charges and the collapse of Celsius is still under investigation, Daniel Leon seems unfazed by the chaos. He continues to cash in on his shares in the company, which were once worth hundreds of millions on paper. Despite the legal turmoil, his wealth continues to grow. While Celsius customers struggle to recover their lost funds, Leon's story is one of personal gain, laughing all the way to the bank, literally. It's a sharp reminder of how fortunes can still be made in the wreckage of a crypto scandal. But as of August 2024, Celsius has paid out 2.53 billion and the CEL token soared by 300%. I think it's clear the team at Celsius don't have your best interests at heart and only want to fill their own pockets. I would avoid Celsius full stop. There are plenty of other great projects to invest in. Thank you for watching today, and let me know what you thought about the video in the comments. Also, let me know what you want me to cover next time. Thanks for watching, and fortune favours the informed.